Breaking news! Breaking news!
Good evening. We are breaking into your feed right now with a major story that could fundamentally change the internet as we know it. Tonight, the black box has finally been opened.
On this day, September 8th, 2025, X has just done something truly unprecedented. It has released the complete source code for its powerful For You recommendation algorithm, making it public for the entire world to see. For the very first time, we have the full blueprint for what you see, and just as importantly, what you don't.
Let's be absolutely clear. This is a landmark moment. No other social media giant of this scale has ever just opened up its core logic like this. We are getting our first completely unfiltered look at exactly how millions of posts are selected and ranked every single second of every day.
And the scale of this release is just immense. The update push to the public code repository on GitHub involved a single massive commit. It changed nearly 1,000 files and added more than 65,000 lines of new code. This isn't just a peek behind the curtain. They've given us the full updated playbook.
In their official announcement, X's engineering team is framing this as a deep commitment to transparency, basically inviting the entire world to come and look under the hood. Well, our team has been doing just that, and here's what we found so far.
So the big question is, how does this thing actually work? Our team has been combing through the code, and what we've learned is that it all boils down to a 3-stage pipeline.
Okay, so think of it like this. First, the system scoops up about 1,500 potential posts it thinks you might like. Then, a really powerful neural network goes to work, ranking each and every one of those posts, predicting how likely you are to actually engage with it. And finally, a set of rules kicks in to filter out spam and make sure you're not just seeing a bunch of posts from the same person over and over.
Now this illustrates the core design of your feed. Roughly half of the content it even considers comes from people you already follow. That's your in-network. But the other half, that's pure algorithmic discovery. Posts the system thinks you'll find interesting, even if you've never heard of the author. This 50-50 split is absolutely crucial. The whole thing is engineered for discovery.
All right, now for the part that every single creator and user wants to know. What actually makes a post go viral, and what makes it completely disappear? Well, the code gives us the exact scoring system.
The code reveals a huge reward for sparking genuine dialogue. You see, if the algorithm predicts that you will reply to a post, and that the original author will then reply back to you, that post gets a massive bonus, a score of plus 75.
But on the flip side of that, negative feedback is absolute poison. A post that the algorithm thinks you're likely to report gets hit with a staggering negative score of 369 points. This effectively buries any content the system flags as offensive or spammy. The penalty is severe, and it is immediate.
And here it is, folks, confirmed right there in the code. Paying X Blues subscribers get a pretty significant advantage. Their posts' final scores are multiplied by a factor of 2 to 4, giving them a built-in boost to their reach over non-subscribers. It's not a theory anymore, it's an actual feature.
So, the crucial point for anyone using the platform is this: likes are gold. They're worth about 30 times more than a simple reply, including an image or a video that basically doubles a post's score. And that negative feedback, like a report or even a show less click, will absolutely crush your reach. And finally, the algorithm rewards consistency. If you start posting outside your usual topic, it can actually hurt your visibility.
As you can imagine, this revelation has sent shockwaves across the entire platform. The reaction has been a mix of pure excitement and, well, some pretty deep concern. A lot of users are celebrating this. They're calling it a revolutionary act of transparency. This user's reaction really captures that feeling. Just a sense of amazement that they can finally see the rules of the game they're playing.
But, of course, not everyone is convinced. Skeptics were incredibly quick to point out that this huge update comes after more than 2 years of total silence on the public code repository. That's fueling a lot of speculation that this might be more of a PR move than a real long-term commitment.
And these concerns are being debated right now, as we speak. Will bad actors exploit this knowledge? Will our feeds just fill up with robotic, formula-driven content designed to trick the system? And is this transparency actually here to stay? These are the big questions looming over this historic release. You have to understand, this development doesn't exist in a vacuum. This decision by X puts an immense amount of pressure on every other major social media platform out there.
And this has been a long time coming. The initial promise was made way back in 2022. That was followed by a first partial release in March 2023. but then radio silence for 2 years, until today's massive update suddenly brought the public code right back in line with what's running on the live platform. And all of this leads to the central question tonight. Has X just set a completely new precedent? The pressure is now squarely on its rivals. Will they continue to operate behind their own veils of secrecy? Or will they be forced to match this new and very public standard of transparency? So, to summarize this breaking story, here is exactly what you need to know. Quality engagement, especially likes and reels, back and forth conversations, is king. Any negative feedback is absolutely devastating to a post's reach. That boost for paying subscribers, it's real and it is significant. And remember, you, the user, have the power to train your feed by using those feedback tools. And most importantly, the age of the algorithmic black box, well, it may finally be coming to an end.
This story is developing incredibly fast, and our team is going to continue its analysis of the code. For all of our ongoing reporting and some really in-depth resources, you can visit us at makexgreat.com.
We will, of course, continue to follow this story as it unfolds. For now, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to makexgreat.com for the latest report tomorrow.
Breaking news.